Welcome, horrible people, to the Horrible Opinions podcast. As always, I'm your totally always on schedule with this portion of our podcast host, Kenny.
No butt stuff this episode. I'm Daniel.
I'm Kim.
She is Kim. There probably will be butt stuff. There's always surprise butt stuff.
I don't think there will be.
Where do you think she first tried to inject Joel with the penicillin?
Oh fuck. You're right.
Because she knows cordyceps lives in the butt. But then she didn't realize we can't fight fungus with fungus.
You don't fight fungus with fungus unless you do. I'm not a doctor.
I don't know. Did she try the butt?
Well, obviously they're not gonna show us Pedro Pascal's butt. I
wish they would.
I wish that's if you haven't seen this season of Mandalorian, you don't know.
Did we show his butt?
Yeah, big time.
I didn't finish season 1.
Big.
They show his ass more than they show his face.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. We are on The Last of Us, episode 8, the second to last episode of season 1, where we last left our heroes off.
What's it called?
Oh, it's called When We Are in Need. Where did we last leave our heroes, hon?
Joel and Ellie are in the basement, and Ellie is trying to bring Joel back to life.
Wake him up.
Wake me up.
Yeah. And we did a whole flashback scene in the beginning with Ellie's friend. What was her name again?
Riley, played by the same actress who played Bloodsport's daughter.
So this episode started off. I think I made the comment like, oh, that's how they're gonna tie it in. Remember me saying that in the beginning?
Well, you were confused because you thought that the town that they were showing, because it opens with us seeing that the new people in the town. We don't open on Joel and Ellie, right?
Right.
So you were like, wait, so they're back in the town, thinking that was the town where Joel's brother was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, we don't recognize any of these people.
Mm.
It wasn't until we got towards the climax of this episode that I remembered this from the game. I remember that particular bit of action within the fire later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, oh, okay, I remember that. Nice.
It's different.
It's I don't remember exactly how it played out, so
I'll tell you how it's different later.
Yeah, you'll tell me.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what he's here for. He has a use.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, most people don't. Yeah, so we're seeing some people reading Bible verse. What is it? Revelations 21?
I don't fucking know.
You know.
21:1.
Was it 21:1?
Yeah.
Said in the subtitles.
Yeah, right there.
Wait.
Craig Martin chose. You just skipped over it. There.
Oh, that says Craig Mazin.
I was gonna
Martin.
say, who the hell is Craig Martin?
Yeah, see, that's why she's like, you just skipped over what I read.
Steve Martin's brother,
words.
Okay? It's Steve Martin's brother.
Jesus,
you don't know. You don't even know.
Opened with David reading Revelation 21 as it relates to the new world exceeding the old one and dealing with grief and tragedy. Then we got some little girl being a crybaby and her daddy died. And it's like, deal with it. Everybody's daddy's dead, man. It's a new world. And
Don't
they're
worry,
like,
new daddy here.
Yeah. And they're like, when are we going to bury the body? And then Troy Baker, Joel.
First of all, they really uglied him up for this.
Yeah, they did. I was like, boy, I remember him being such a pretty boy. They really.
He's literally a walking Final Fantasy character normally.
Yeah. So
it's like damn.
It's amazing. Maybe we could be walking Final Fantasy characters if we knew how to unugly ourselves.
I imagine it's probably easier to ugly someone up than it is to fix it.
Maybe it's just a matter of like grooming and clothes.
That's interesting you bring up grooming in this episode.
That is a good point. Unintentional. I am unintentionally so smart sometimes.
Sometimes.
You said Troy Baker. Who is Troy Baker?
I said Troy Baker Joel. He is he's what's his name?
James.
James.
He's playing James.
He's not playing Joel.
Not playing Joel, but in the game,
he played Joel. Yeah, so this is our original video game mocap and voice actor, Troy Baker, getting to be like a real character. Apparently he thought he would probably get involved, but he thought he'd end up being like a clicker or something.
Yeah.
So he was kind of shocked when they gave him a significant role. Somewhat significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she says, when are we burying the body? And they kind of look at each other.
They look at each other, yeah, it's a knowing
like,
look.
Uh-huh. It's like, it's too cold to bury him now. Maybe in the spring?
Wink.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going to happen if... Okay, wait, no. Let's just get back. Let's just skip that.
Continue on. So we got these
I'll ask
people.
it later.
Yeah, you'll forget. We get this, like, we got another group. They're a little churchy, a little culty. Some would say maybe the same thing.
I'm instantly uncomfortable.
Yeah, gingers, right?
That's what it was.
It's what got me. I'm like, you put a ginger in charge. It's never good.
No, it was because of the religious. This is my own biases. But, like, if you're religious, I don't think, and you actually, like, believed it and, like, acted upon it, I don't think you'd be able to survive in this world.
Yeah,
unless you were just using it as a tool to control others.
And that's what most people that we see portrayed in, everything do it as. So it's immediately, like, okay, this isn't gonna end well. Like, I kind of feel bad for religious people that are truly good people, because there will be guilty by association for all the ways they are portrayed in movies, especially like horror or like drama things like this. Unless you're literally the father and the priest, the father in the church offering, like, advice, you're probably going to be a bad guy in whatever show, movie, book you're in. So yeah, we've been trained to know, okay, this isn't good.
We've been groomed to know.
We've been groomed. They didn't have to force it on us. We knew at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you can't fight love. Just like we know Ellie, she doesn't want to be fed, okay? Ellie wants to hunt.
Ellie wants to
We cut back to Ellie saying, like, look, chill out, Joel, you're fine. Like, you just lay there, like, continue to be unconscious. I'm gonna go on a little hunt out there with a rifle.
She gives him a cracker. Is that a cracker? I don't know what that is.
Oh, she was finding, like, she's trying to give him water.
It was like
a rat food.
Like a little piece of something.
Have a bread.
Cheese.
Yeah. So if he wakes up and he's hungry...
That'll sustain him.
It's better than people.
Are you sure about that?
I'd still say you get sick pretty quickly eating people. We're not designed. It's a design flaw that we can't eat ourselves.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. If lizards could cut off their tail and eat it, and then grow a new one, and then do it again.
Well, because you need, like...
Do they eat their own tail?
No, I don't think so. Usually if their tail comes off, it's because they're running away. They ain't going back for it. Even if they really like that one.
They really like... You know what? This one's been my favorite. Man, of all the tails I've had, I really like this one.
This one was a solid tail. Look at that girth. It had a cool little pattern.
The girth on it. Oh my god.
Do they grow back identical? Like, once they get back to full...
I don't know.
Shit, man. Now I would have wondered that. If anyone listens to this and knows the answer...
If anyone listens to this.
That's the key one. And do lizards' tails, when they break off, do they grow back identical to the one that was already on there? I must know. I feel like I want to live in a world where yes. Anyway, Ellie shoots a deer. It's epic. And she's pumped about it. She's like, hell yeah, but I'm like, now you gotta track it. And then, yeah, she had to track, because it didn't just drop. So it takes off running. By the time she gets there, we hear some people talking. They found the deer, and they're like, well, somebody shot it. They must be nearby.
It's James and David.
James and David, the two leads of our cult community. And Ellie gets to drop on them, and she does a... Put the guns down! I'm
surrounded!
You're surrounded! I have been a big group.
I'll shoot you between the eyes.
Right, yeah, she keeps saying, like, right between the eyes. And they're like, I know, between the eyes. And they're like, she's like, that's my dear. Like, well, we're from a starving community. It's like, I'm from a starving community. Like, well, we can help you. Like, no, I ain't going with you. I'm going with Giles.
Buddy boy. You send Buddy boy.
Yeah, you send Buddy boy back. I'll give you half the deer if you give me medicine. And then Dave tells James, like, go back, such and such has some penicillin, grab that and a syringe, and bring that back. And he stares at him like, I'm not talking in code, I literally want you to do this. And then he leaves. Dave is like, well, look, it's quite a walk back.
It's David. I don't like you changing it to Dave.
Look, okay, Davey boy, we're buddies. A lot of similarities.
You shouldn't be friends with David.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, David, D-Vizzle.
D-Rizzle.
He's like, look, it's gonna be a while. It's a long walk. Let's go over here. I can make a fire. We can chill. So he's already trying to like dig at Ellie. He's like, what's your name, baby girl? What's your name?
Fishing.
What's your name?
He didn't say what's your name, baby girl.
What's your name, sweet thing? Sweet little. Look,
I mean,
he subdues that for a while.
I mean, you don't come right out of the open with that. You wait until they're in a cage.
Yeah, and they see the meat factory. That ain't code for my penis.
I didn't think it was.
I'm just clarifying for everyone involved. So he's creeping, and she catches on that he's like slightly religious, and she kind of scoffs and is like, "It's like, oh yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, like luck." She mentions luck or something like that. He's like, "I don't believe in luck." And he's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, everything happens for a reason. I can prove it to you." How does he prove it to her?
By exposing basically who they are in relation to them.
Yes, so
he says, a couple days ago, I sent out a group of 4 men to go scavenging for supplies. And this group of men was attacked, and one of them was killed by a man. And here's the thing about that. That man had with him a little girl.
and
It's you.
Yeah, Ellie.
Ta-da!
Yeah, Bubba. So now she's on edge. And then we get James is back there, has a gun pointed at Ellie. So she immediately turns and points a gun at James. And D-Dog, it's like, hey, give her the medicine. James is like, what? We should kill her. Like, just give her the medicine. And then Ellie takes the medicine and just leaves without even taking her half of the deer.
I mean, how would she take it?
That's kind of the thing. It's like, Kev's like, she left her half of the deer. And I'm like, nah, she's exposed at this point. She doesn't want anything to do with it. I just like how, okay, I didn't go back to verify if I'm remembering this incorrectly or not, but did they not attack Joel and Ellie first?
They did.
That's what I thought. I was like, this isn't some revisionist thing in my head. They keep saying, oh, and he was murdered by this guy, and he did. I was like, no, you guys attacked first.
They drew Fleur's blood. Fleur's blood.
Fleur's blood. Now, we've kind of got some hinting already with a conversation between James and David that David isn't so sure James is 100% on board with D-Day anymore. And his beliefs.
James. I think James sees what he is.
Yeah,
but thinks that he needs him
for some reason. Maybe because everyone else already falls in line and believes him. Could be something like that.
I don't think James could lead the group.
Right.
I wonder if he just thinks that it's more dangerous to stand up to him than it is to just fall in line with everything he's saying. Because I mean, he's seen how violent he can be.
Yeah, which it makes sense as an ex-teacher.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It makes me uncomfortable thinking that this guy was a school teacher.
Well, I mean, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my very bad sound effect for the ruler hitting a...
Okay, I kind of thought you were shooting at me. And Dale probably didn't hear it because Discord probably
I didn't hear
that out.
anything. But I was thinking the teaching thing is less about... I'm less uncomfortable with the violence that is in his heart and more with how he behaves around Ellie.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't become like that. You've always been like that.
Yeah.
And then you were in a position with all these youngsters.
In a position of power.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we'll get more into that. So Ellie gets back to Joel and she's filling up a syringe with penicillin. And after she tries his ass, she's like, maybe that doesn't work.
Which we don't see.
We don't get to see. She's like, where the fuck do I put this? Joel, where do I put this? I'm just like, I don't know, fuck it, stick it right in the wound. And so that's what she does. But then
Is that right?
We don't know. Kim and I were discussing that because some injections are only meant to go like within like the skin layer. Like,
right.
In there. Some are supposed to go into the muscle. Some are supposed to go in specific spots. So I don't know. But I think when in doubt, especially with something like penicillin, you just want to get it into the bloodstream.
I don't know.
It's my best guess.
I didn't go to college.
I didn't go to med school.
Yeah.
Hama. But she gets a big heckin' injection.
Yeah.
And then she's...
How does she know that needle's like...
She doesn't know it. How does she even know it's penicillin?
But like to be like...
Well, it says it on the vial.
They could refill it. It's all on
Which
a wing
does
and a prayer.
penicillin go bad?
I'm not sure. I didn't
This
go to
would be
med
20-year-old,
Penicillin.
20-year-old penicillin.
True, but a fungus seems to thrive in this world, so...
I feel like drugs do, like, they just lose their potency. I feel like they just, after, I mean, they still work. I think they just lose their potency. Like,
Yeah,
they're not as efficient at whatever it is you're trying to treat.
Unfortunately for Ellie and Joel, Ellie didn't realize that Joel is actually allergic to penicillin. Yeah, so Joel's dead.
That's why you
Where?
gotta have one of those wristband things that tells everybody what you're allergic to.
Yeah.
And it says, what would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do? He would, well, apparently this guy has some ideas about what Jesus might do. Anyway, Joel's not dead. It's a miracle. He is still laying there, and Ellie's freaking out because she had these guys, and she feels like, yeah, they'll be coming.
Round the mountain
when
when
they
come. When they come.
When they come. Kill me now. And she's what? She's prepping. She's like pulling a thing in front of the door, like a shelf to block the door to the basement. She's giving Joel another injection, trying to keep him warm. The town's James and David are back in town. Their little resort that they have their people.
So the everyone is having a nice succulent dead daddy meal.
Yes, they bring out meat, and first the guy brings meat into the kitchen. And the lady stares at it, and she's like, "What is it?" And
It's venison.
Venison. It's like, I don't think they made it back with the deer yet.
But because then in the middle of the meal they show them showing up with the deer.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah. Now I'm not 100% convinced it's the dad because we do see they have other bodies like processed.
I like to think it's the dad. Then that little girl ate her dead dad. And
he's always there inside.
Yeah.
Her heart. So they get back or interrupt the cannibal meal that as we find out later, only like 3 or 4 people there actually know they're eating human, like 100% know that's what they're eating.
Mm-hmm.
But he can tell that there's some rumblings and that James decided to spill the beans when he came back to get the medicine, that they found the girl who was with the guy who killed Dead Daddy. And so now David's like, okay, you guys may have heard some rumors about us finding these people and the little girl. And then the girl who was crying earlier because her daddy died is like, you need to kill them both. And he just, David calmly walks over there, takes his glove off, and gives her a backhand of God. And then she's sitting on the floor, and he reaches his hand out immediately to pick her back up. And he's like, this is where you're wrong, thinking you don't have a father anymore. And I'm thinking, is he about to play the father in heaven card? He's like, no, I'm your father.
I'm your new daddy.
I'm like, oh no. Then he picks her, back up to her.
And you know what? New daddy doesn't fucking like it when you interrupt him.
Yeah, that's what he says. Old dad probably didn't like that either. I don't like being interrupted. It's rude. You're not going to get the backhand of God. You'll be like, hey, that was rude. Which is worse. Okay? You've disappointed me. That's worse than me being mad at you.
That's true.
Yeah. So now we're getting like this weird, okay, this is more cult than traditional church-like. And even Ellie makes that comment earlier when she was talking to David. Like a cult? Oh, you caught me. I'm a church guy. So he says, tomorrow we will send a group of men out to find them. And
that's right. We're gonna send the Expendables out.
That's right. We're gonna kill him, and we're gonna bring the girl back because we need her.
Why are we bringing her back?
For reasons.
Why do we need her?
Because she's obviously a kindred spirit. I can already tell she's not like the rest. You're not like them other girls.
Oh.
Yeah. So Ellie's prepping. More injections. Here's the people. Says, Joel, look, wake up, motherfucker. Okay. We got monsters up here. Okay, by monsters I mean people. That's the real monster all along. Here's a knife. Here's a knife. Wake up, fucker. Don't fall back asleep. Here's a knife. If they get down here, you kill them. I gotta go lead them away. Hi-ho Silver. Yeah, she gets on the pony, and what happens, hon?
She dies.
What?
She dies. That's correct. Ellie's
The
dead.
end. Episode done.
She could have. I mean, it paralyzed Superman. I could see it killing Ellie.
Damn.
Ellie gets out. She's shooting at them on the horse, trying to lead them away. They turn to start firing at her. David's like, she needs to be taken alive. And they're kind of miffed. James takes off a shortcut around the side, manages to catch up to Ellie on the horse in time to
kill her.
To kill her, the horse.
Kill the horse.
And I'm just like, don't shoot the horse. And then down goes the horse. I'm like, ah. But then meat's back on the menu.
And meat's back on the menu, boys.
So Davy Jones picks up Ellie because she's kind of unconscious after flying off the horse.
James was gonna shoot her.
Yes. And the other guys were like, shoot her, James. Like, so the guys that are there are kind of more James followers than David's.
No, I think these were friends of the guy that died.
The other guys on the hunt, probably. Yeah, I can see that.
And James is gonna kill her because
he wants vengeance.
No,
he wants to spare her.
He sees her as a threat because David is taking an interest in her, and David took an interest in James once.
Oh, when he was
he
was a student in
when
David's
he was a student, probably
class.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to lose his special place. And I kind of think that James sees the creepiness and is like,
this is
trying to
better for you.
Quote, save her from it, yeah.
Yeah, trust me, kid. You'll thank me in the afterlife.
You're gonna thank me later.
Look, I wish someone did this to me.
Creeper's creeping.
Creeper's going creep. But instead, Creeper fires a shot in the air like, you get away from my wife! I mean, this new child. Yeah!
Look, you gotta raise your wife.
Now, here's how I knew David was a bad leader. Okay, I'm taking the girl. 2 of you come with me to drag the horse. The other 3 of you want your vengeance? Go knock door to door to get your vengeance. Do you know how heavy a horse is? Like, you need one really strong person or like 2
I could do it alone.
Able-bodied people to just drag that deer.
No.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking heavy, man. To go a ways? So,
but you didn't see the Jeep they drove up in.
I missed it. Just like the ninjas missed all those tanks and helicopters in Ninja Assassin.
It's just like that.
Just like that's a good movie. Go watch that. If you like this, it is a good movie. You shut your mouth. I'll groom you until you like it.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. So now we got the 3 other dudes knocking door to door. One of them gets in the house that Joel and Ellie were using. He's kind of snooping around. He sees the drawer that Ellie dropped on the ground while she was looking for supplies to help Joel. He sees the cabinet and kind of hears wind rustling behind the cabinet.
That's right. Wind rustles. That's what it does.
Yeah. And it exposes your secret hiding places. So he sees the door. So he goes down there. He spots a bloody mattress, but no Joel.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, Shadow Joel does his stab.
Yeah, which is impressive, and he has to hold on for dear life, and the guy's going down, and he gets to look at Joel while the knife's in his neck, and he gets to realize that I just got killed by a guy, like, literally about to die. This is embarrassing. I didn't want to go down like this. But then Joel drinks his blood and captures his life force, because he's moving around a lot better after this, after being unconscious.
I'd say he's at, like, 60%. This is 60% Joel.
Yeah. I could see
he's
that.
Able to take out these guys.
The penicillin's really starting to like flush through his anal cavities.
It's been a day.
Yeah, it's good. He's good. He ate that cracker.
It's a cracker that did it. That was lambus bread.
Lambus bread.
Yeah.
Very, very fancy.
Yeah.
So
you don't go on a trip without bringing that, obviously.
Yeah. Right. So now let's see. We cut back to Ellie in a cage, in a big cage-like cell, and she wakes up. And Big D, and I don't mean Dallas, I mean David, is standing like over her, like spreading his butt cheeks. No. We watched different versions. He's outside the cage, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know if you were gonna wake up or not."
Well, then why are you standing there?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. At least he wasn't standing right over her. That would have been worse.
With his butt cheeks.
Yeah, you don't want to wake up to somebody's starfish in your face.
Well, maybe you do.
I don't.
Not that guy.
I don't. God. And you said there'd be no butt stuff. I laid extra butt stuff.
I didn't say that. It was a curse.
It's a curse, a butt curse. And she's still trying to, or he's still trying to say, I'm your friend. You can't survive alone. You think you're a guy out there can protect you? Like, he can't. Like, I can protect you. Be one of us. And eventually, Ellie starts, like, moving closer to the door. As he's moving closer to the door, saying, like, I see a lot of myself in you. I know you have violence in your heart.
You have a violent heart.
Yeah, you have a violent heart. You're a survivor. Now, Kim's worried. She's like, oh, don't listen to him, Ellie. And I'm like, oh, she's not listening. She's setting him up for a trap. She puts her hand up there. He puts his hand on top of her hand. She slowly takes her other hand and puts it on top of his hand. Yeah, like at this point, if she hadn't caught on before, I think she now knows he is interested in her in more than just being business partners.
Oh, are they gonna be like mentor mentee?
Yeah, just with a lot more of unsolicited dicks and hallways, probably.
Dicks and hallways?
Yeah, she'll be walking through the office hallway as the mentee to bring him his coffee, and he'll know that she's coming, and then boom.
Because he asked her for the coffee, and then she's going to show up, and then it's boom, dick, right?
Boom, dick. Like, surprise. Oh, I didn't know you were coming back to the office. I just happened to have my dick out.
Well.
That happens every time I've been a mentee.
What, no.
She breaks his fucking finger.
Snap.
And then he grabs her head and bashes it against the side of the cage.
Yeah.
And he's like, you really screwed up this time. If my mom was alive, I'd go tell her that you broke my heart and my finger, but she's not.
I'm gonna leave the heart part out because it's embarrassing.
Now the part, wait, when does she spot the ear? Is that during this?
That's when he comes back in with a bowl of the soup.
So he actually comes in twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just combined.
First time.
I skipped the first one.
But doesn't matter.
Yeah, so at one point, Ellie's trying to find a way out of the cage, and she looks over under the table. Turns out this is their butcher area, and she sees a human ear and finger laying under the table.
That's fine.
So she's like, this is fucking people. She's like, before you judge you, this is fucking people. Kicks the bowl. And it's like, what are you going to do?
Perfectly good people food.
Well, he swore that one was venison. I don't believe him. Why would you waste the venison on her? She ain't giving him what he wants yet.
Not yet.
And she's like, well, you're going to chop me up into little pieces? So now he's all spurned and he's butthurt because he got turned down by the only woman he ever loved.
What? Yeah?
Yeah, and he's like, chop you up into little pieces, huh? And he leaves all in a huff. And as he's walking out, she yells her name. She says, Ellie. And he's like, what? Tell them the little girl who broke your finger's name is Ellie. As she's spitting up blood, all badass. Kim put her fists in the air. She's like, fuck yeah, woman power. Yeah. She didn't do that, but I felt like she felt that in her heart. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
More Joel after that, huh? I think it's when he's got the lure in the guys outside.
Yes. I think.
Okay, so what happens?
So, one of the dudes that came with, right, is out there in front of one of the houses, and he's laying down in the ground, and another dude comes and finds him, and surprise attack! Yay!
Yeah, we see a butt of the gun of the rifle.
A butt?
The butt. Yeah, more butts! Yeah, the butt of the rifle coming down on the camera like we're being hit. So I guess we didn't get to see...
It's like the butt is coming at us.
Right, you wake up and there's a butt in your face. But this time you're about to go to sleep because the butt's coming into your face.
Right.
Lots of butt action. So I guess we didn't really see Joel take out the second guy because the second guy was bait for the third guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was confused because Kim's like, oh, he must have drugged the guy out there. And I was like, his leg moved, though. That guy in the basement was dead.
Yeah, I didn't see the leg move. I just thought that it was just the other guy that he stabbed.
Yeah. So then we cut to Joel we wake, our camera wakes us up to the sound of, like, flesh getting pounded. And you take it however you want. One guy's chained up to the wall. Joel's got the other guy taped in a chair. It's time for Joel's favorite game of torture question time.
Do you guys remember a couple episodes, maybe it was just one episode ago,
with the best characters in the show?
Yeah, when I said Joel likes having people point at maps.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. He switched it up a little bit this time, though, and I thought it was pretty funny. So Joel's torturing the guy in the chair, the other guy's sitting against the wall, And he's like, where's the girl? Oh, I don't have a girl. Where's the girl? And he takes the knife. Oh, yeah, right into the kneecap. Just straight down. That's gotta fucking hurt. And he's screaming. He's like, tell me where the girl... she's alive. She's alive. Where is she? Silvertown. Or
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake. Silvertown's where Joe Dirt went. Nice place, Silvertown.
He's like, it's not a town.
It's a resort. Yeah, the other guy's like, don't tell him. It's like, I will take your fucking kneecap off. I'll do it. I'll pop it right off.
Oof.
And then he pulls the knife out of his knee, pulls out the map, puts it in his mouth, and says, show me on the map where we are and where the resort is. And if you try to, if your buddy doesn't point to the exact same spots, you're both dead. Now, when he's doing this, I'm thinking, Joel, there's blood on the knife, though. Like, if he touches the map with that, the other guy's going to know where he touched. Turns out Joel wasn't even worried about that. So the guy shows him where it is on the map with the tip of the knife out of his mouth, spits out the knife, and Joel's satisfied. Joel takes the knife, fucking kills him, stabs him right in the chest. The other guy on the wall's like, he told you the truth! What are you doing? Why would you do that? You didn't need to do that. Jesus! And
I believed him.
Yeah, Joel walks is like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I believed him. And then picks up a fucking pipe, beats the Joel's feeling good, okay? Joel's getting to spill some blood.
He hasn't got to do a murder in a bit.
And he look, I think he likes it. He's amped up.
He does.
He's hobbling around, but his color's coming back. So now we know Joel's going to head towards Silvertown, meet up with Joe Dirt to head to Silver Lake, take out these bad guys. Stab him in the face with a soldering iron. Soldering iron. Soldering iron. Don't even worry about it. We'll do butt stuff later. James and David bust back in. Well, I guess they don't bust. They open Ellie's cage.
Yeah, they drag her out.
She's fighting.
Throw her on the table.
Yeah, she's
chop
screaming.
her up.
It's like, no, stop.
She bites David.
Yeah, and then she's like, yeah, Dave. Little Davy boy, you know what they should call you? De-infection. Because you're infected.
De-infection is not a joking matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it not cleared up yet?
It's not cleared up
You have to
yet.
inject the penicillin right into the wound.
Right into the tip. Yeah.
So she's like, pull up my sleeve. So they take the meat cleaver, slam it right down next to her head, which they could have killed her anyway and then looked at her sleeve. I don't understand that. Bad guys are dumb. And he pulls up her sleeve and sees the infection. And he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, so you're infected now. Diamond David.
Dickhole
Dave. And Dave's looking at James. It's like, she can't be. She would have turned a long time ago. If you're infected, you don't fight back this hard. And you can tell James, this whole conversation is probably just to keep James from killing David, because, well, our reaction to infected is almost to instantly kill them, because that's how we survive. Only Ellie, in this moment of distraction, grabs the cleaver and hits the person in the path of that arm, which is James. Catches him right in the neck, and then bolts the fuck out of there. David's kind of in shock. He grabs the cleaver. Ellie's gone.
He also empties his gun at her.
Oh, yeah.
Pew.
As she's running away. She comes out into an area that seems like a front part of this butchery restaurant thing.
Yeah, it's a restaurant.
So she's moving around. There's a fire up there, and she grabs a hot piece of wood. Not David's,
log.
like she wants, or like he wants.
Oh, he wants, yeah. He would love that.
And so she's creeping around hiding. This is the part where I'm like, ooh, okay, I know this setup. This happened. I remember this moment in the game.
It's happened to me.
So you interject whenever you want to about the whole what's different between this and the game. So she's hiding. She's creeping around doing that crouch thing we've seen them do a couple times. Bear in mind when you play the game, 90% of the time you are in this crouch state. So their knees got to be fucked. So she's moving around. She's trying to get in a good position. He comes out there at the butcher knife, and he's talking about, I've always had this this violence inside of me, and it's just been suppressed, and now it's, gets to come out, and yeah, we could have been, we'll be good together, and something has changed. Neither one of us is dying here tonight. We're gonna... So the stuff he's saying is starting to sound more and more like, yeah, he wants to get with Ellie. Talks about how he doesn't even believe in the Bible. It was cordyceps that made him change his ways of life after the world ended. and that cordyceps fights to survive, and it breeds and it spreads. And I was like, nope, don't say breed. Don't do that. It's like, nope, he goes into it. So he has been a fucking creep this whole time. Ellie pops out, throws her fire log at the guy. He either dodges or she just misses. It hits a curtain. Now the place is on fire. So he's walking around monologuing at her while she's hiding. She tells
her that all the doors are locked and he's got all the keys.
All the keys. She gets onto the kitchen side of the bar and finds a little knife. Still sneaking around. He's walking around being the big man because he thinks he's in control here. Even though the whole place is on fire, he's just ignoring that. He's singularly minded, like focused on Ellie. What are you gonna say, hon?
Yeah, I don't really understand. The whole place is falling down,
yeah, so
and he just wants some ass.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's not even about the ass. It's about like the power, the control.
She's humiliated him and needs to be punished.
Yeah, like he's totally focused.
He's so like tunnel visioned at that point. Like he's just like, this is his goal, and this is what he
all that matters
needs to do. Yeah, and that's all that matters. Even though he's clearly like in danger, he doesn't care about that with the building on fire and whatnot.
Yep, and Ellie gets the jump on him, comes running out. He hears, turns and does a swing. She smartly goes low, hits him in like the gut with the knife. He's still got enough power though to get her down. The cleaver goes flying.
Too bad she couldn't cut off his...
Well, she gets plenty of cuts in. He gets her on the ground. She's reaching for the cleaver. He gives her a nice big kick in the ribs, knocks her over, and then proceeds to straddle her. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, don't do that. She's still reaching for the cleaver. He's basically... I forget what he's saying here because I'm trying to black out anything creepy Batman saying.
He was saying this is his favorite part. He loves it when they fight back.
Yeah, so now it's turned straight into like, yes, this is purely rape now.
Just part of the game for him, I feel like.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Fight I wonder how awkward it was filming this scene. I mean, I feel creepy like watching it. So imagine being like Bella Ramsey, that's her name, right?
Yes.
And being, you know.
I imagine in a scene like that, you would not only still have your like fight choreographer, but I imagine you'd also have one of those the consultants they use for like lovemaking scenes.
An intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, because that's an intimacy coordinator, because that's an intimate scene. At minimum, like if I was the guy playing David, who's Scott Shepherd, I recognize him. I don't know from what. I'll have to look.
Ginger knows Ginger.
Right? We all know each other. Anyway, I imagine that Scott Shepherd has to go up to Bella Ramsey and be like, okay, well, we're going to do this. You tell me where is comfortable. This is going to be very, like, weird. But she's been acting since she was much younger. She is a professional. Like, it's not, like, I don't consider Bella Ramsey a child actor in this.
Even though she plays a child.
Yeah, she's a young actress in this. In Game of Thrones, I would say child actress. Possibly still. But this, no, like I wouldn't say the main kids of Stranger Things are child actors.
Well, they're all like 32 at this point.
Well, at this point, yeah, they've aged past us. But you gotta have something where you gotta like, okay, we know what we're doing, we're professionals, this is kind of a weird thing, but like, hey, we know, like we're not and they don't go too far with it or anything, like he just gets to straddle and then the uncomfortable dialogue. Because Ellie...
he was doing something with his hands.
Yeah, but Ellie gets her fingers over to the cleaver.
And gets him.
Gets a good hit in. Now, do we see where the cleaver hit?
No.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, we didn't see the cleaver hit. He drops. Ellie is about to have the moment that, from what I've seen of the second game, I think shapes her character. Like this whole situation has probably had some effect on her, obviously, but she gets on top of him, and you just see stab, 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 stab.
He's making noises
stab.
For a couple of the stabs.
She is
just pure rage.
Whacks.
Yeah, she is brutally.
She mad, big mad.
Big mad. I don't even think I think she's checked out. So now we get her moving around the place trying to get out. She's freaking out. She finally gets outside. She's standing outside. She's covered in blood. She's beat the fuck up. You can tell like she's got this dazed look in her eyes. It's a masterful performance by Bella. And we
Joel
get someone,
comes from behind
and she's like, get away, get away. As soon as he touches her, she's freaking out. It takes Joel saying, it's me, it's me, it's me, like 3 or 4 times for her to finally realize. And then she kind of comes in for the hug. And what's he say?
I got you, baby girl.
Yeah.
Baby girl.
Look, it made her lip quiver, okay?
Oh,
no tears happened, but the lip quivered. Did you think that was going to be one?
I thought that was it.
Ooh.
It was close.
It was close. They didn't.
But my lip did quiver.
Yeah, I looked over because I'm like, I guess quivering. I was looking for any single tear. The episode ends kind of abruptly after that, so it's not like a lingering
feeling.
Like if they sit there.
The whole scene is set up to make you think that Joel is gonna bust in and save her.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't.
Now, how did that play out in the game again? I just remember her crouching, running around.
She passes out in there from smoke inhalation, and then he has to save her from that.
But she gets the kill though, still, right?
She gets the kill, yeah.
Okay.
Whereas in this, he's more emotionally saving her.
I think I like this better.
She completely got herself out of the situation in this. This is better.
That's why I like it better. The fact that she, at no point in time in the danger situation, needed Joel.
Yeah.
Hell, she got captured by that evil town and technically got herself away from it all
on her own. I think
to an extent.
I think the end of this episode is kind of because we've been talking about it the whole time how Joel and Ellie are in this like father-daughter type thing ever since Joel lost his biological daughter, and like I feel like every episode we've at least made some kind of comment saying like this is Joel and Ellie's relationship, father-daughter, whatever. I think this episode is like solidified that part there because him calling her baby girl, like to think
which is
that
what he called Sarah,
right? And like he, if we had watching it from the beginning, I don't see Joel warming up to someone enough to be able to openly call them like baby girl after having lost his daughter. Like I don't think Joel would have ever talked to anyone like that unless he saw that person as like a daughter figure. But
I agree.
Yay!
So, yeah, we get them, they're kind of hobbling, walking off together, and that's off into the unknown. We don't really know what their plan is at this point. Maybe it's to continue seeking the Firefly. We got one episode left. This episode, it's 50 minutes long. It's got to be, if it's not the shortest, it's got to be very close to 50 minutes even. That's got to be one of the shortest ones.
But it's one of the shorter ones, yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of filler. There's not a lot of fat in this episode to chew. It's kind of...
It's because in the game, there's an action set piece where David and Ellie, when they're waiting for the James to show back up with the gun, there's a lot of infected and they fight him off. And then it's revealed that David had a gun on him the whole time, but didn't use it to threaten Ellie with, but did use it to fight the infected.
When's the last time we've even seen an infected in this show? Was it Kansas City?
It's been a bit, which is fine.
Because we had... Well, I guess we seen one in the flashback and Left Behind.
Yeah, that I think.
But I'm talking like currently they haven't had to deal with one since
Kansas City,
because there wasn't one in Kim.
Yeah, there's a lot less in the show than the game.
We're starting to get to the real monsters.
Oh, we're getting to the real monsters. Yeah. Actually, we've been with the real monsters the whole time.
We've been with them. We're the real monsters. Not a single bit of butt action happens in this entire series. Tacos were mentioned, though.
Tacos were mentioned.
Tacos were definitely mentioned. But it's just, it's a good episode. It felt like it went by quick. I'm like, okay, what actually happens? So it's like, Joel, we got medicine for Joel. We're curing Joel. Ellie was able, like, the big takeaway is showing that Ellie has taken to what Joel's teachings. Like, she could survive on her own. I think she could see that now. And then the mental break of, like, yeah, there's still some there's all kinds of different bad people in the world, not just the kind you've seen already.
Yeah.
And they're going to have all sorts of weird motives for what they're doing, and it's gonna hurt you. So you're gonna end up wanting to shield yourself in every way possible.
You're gonna want to hide yourself from that.
Hide yourself.
It's gonna hurt you.
It's gonna hurt you real bad, and you're gonna look compartmentalize everything.
Probably.
Yeah. So look, this world's fucking everybody up. Not that Ellie was already not fucked up by the time we first met her.
But you see her eyes, she's super fucked up now.
This is
I'm interested to see how this, like, Joel, we haven't mentioned Joel's PTS or not PTSD, his anxiety attacks in a while. Is he still
Well, that's
with
because
that?
he was kind of getting over it in the last episode, like 2 episodes ago before the fight in Ken.
Yeah.
And they were out there doing the thing, and then he got stabbed. So then we've been dealing with him literally dying, not him just feeling like he's dying. So he hasn't had a chance to.
I think he kind of got over it when they meet at the horse, and he's like, I was going to ride off with this horse.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 40 minutes ago. So I think that's when he got over it.
Okay.
Or he forgot how to ride a horse.
And so now I'm kind of interested in seeing how Ellie deals with this very traumatic experience.
Well, we got 1 episode left. Let me see how long that episode is. Oh, damn.
43 minutes.
That's only 43 minutes for the last episode. I thought it was going to be a bit longer to kind of...
No, it's short.
Damn, okay. Yeah, I see this as validating her training for her, but then at the end there, she's kind of has to deal with some more shit. Yeah, her face at the end of this seems much more... She can't just push this inside. She's having to deal with it. Unlike the end of Kansas City, we can tell she's just repressing all that sadness. She's like, oh, let's go. Like, even being somewhat, like, hostile and talking with Joel. Like, nah, let's go. This is like, I can't keep it. Like, I've gone through...
End of Kansas City is almost like her, okay, we gotta do what I'm basically put on this earth to do, which is make this cure so that no one I know will ever get infected again. We never get put in this situation again.
Yeah, maybe this is now...
Maybe I don't make a cure.
Yeah,
Humanity sucks.
Maybe we don't save humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, It could have been longer if they wanted to build up more of what was going on in that town, but if they did that, this would be another episode very similar to probably Kansas City.
Showed more than was in the game.
Did they really?
Yeah.
If the whole town aspect, like, you could really show off that guy's... Like, you can do a lot with a cult-type town like that and make it interesting. Like, it could have almost been more interesting for them to have been hunted by that group than the Kansas City group. I don't know. That's good, though. So what else you got for us on this episode?
No.
Nothing else? No more fun facts or differences from the game?
I think Nolan North could have played his character.
Who was Nolan in the game?
David.
Look, I hate to break it to you, buddy, because, we're both kind of these things. There's nothing creepier than a ginger.
But with Nolan North, you would have got like a slightly older man, more fatherly looking, dad bod.
Nolan just looks good, man.
He looks good, but like I think it would have worked.
The creep factor isn't there for me with Nolan. The way, they could have picked a creepier ginger than Scott Shepherd. Because, looking at his IMDb profile, like, he doesn't look creepy there. And he's not inherently creepy in this until he starts talking in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he looks creepy in that thing.
I don't think he looks creepy there.
If Chucky, aged 20 years.
First off, not every ginger person descends from Chucky.
His hair's all...
He does look like another ginger actor, but I don't remember what he's in, so I can't look it up. All I'm saying is,
well,
Hollywood...
at first glance, I thought it was what's that guy's name from Firefly that plays the pilot?
Alan Tudyk?
Yeah,
does not look like Alan Tudyk.
It does to me.
You are race blind to gingers. You think I look?
Gingers are not a race.
The hell we aren't. Look. Our oldest is playing a Roblox game with meme monsters attacking her, and she goes, "Kenny, why are you in here attacking me?" I go, what? It's just some white dude with a big nose whose face is big and purple that opens his mouth chops and has a short haircut. I'm like, that's just a white dude with a big nose.
All white dudes with big noses look alike.
She's like, it looks just like you. And I'm like,
you got burned.
Well, Kim got home and said, your daughter's racist. She probably thinks you and I look like the same person.
That's crazy.
I know.
I think, who is it? I think Mimi mixes up Cameron and Christopher all the time.
Yeah,
Well, I
she
do
does.
that.
Yeah, that's fair. Just saying.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk. That's Alan Tudyk.
That is not Alan Tudyk. Oh my! This guy doesn't have that Alan Tudyk.
Look up the
twinkle.
guy from Homeland.
I wonder if the guy from Homeland is one. Yeah, look at Alan Tudyk. Look at him. He's fantastic. Everything. Maybe the guy from Homeland is the one I'm thinking of. Not that I've watched Homeland. Oh, Damian Lewis.
Yeah.
That guy has an intense stare. He reminds me of a younger version of the guy who plays the Lannister patriarch.
Sure.
But Damian Lewis played. Oh God, was he one of the bad guys in Your Highness? That was hilarious. These things are all relevant to the episode we just watched.
No,
Apparently,
that's good cut.
yeah, okay, gingers are creepy. So, one more episode. We got a lot of shit to wrap up in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we can have the conversation.
What?
The whole reason we're doing this.
Oh, what you've wanted to talk about this whole time? Do I know what the conversation
I actually just want to talk about season 2 is the problem.
Well, I haven't played game 2 yet, though.
I know, but that's...
Hunt. So we've got one episode left. Would you be interested in watching me play the game? Or perhaps even watching a YouTube supercut of just the story scenes?
Do I get to choose? Who
Yeah,
plays it?
you don't have to do any of them. It's just I'm just curious if this has piqued you, a complete, like, for the most part, non-gamer interest at all of experiencing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, I'd let you play it, obviously. Because you have to have my permission before you do anything.
She can
no.
play it because it has, like, so many, like, customization options as far as gameplay-wise goes that you can make it super easy
Does
and
Jeff
super
play it?
accessible.
Just who?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Gerstmann.
Oh, no, she means Jeff Green.
Oh, Jeff. Oh, I
She-
wish.
Yeah, that she did the...
Open
That's
Sesame.
him opening the doors. Yeah, she don't know Gerstmann that much. She knows Green. We could do a podcast of us watching Jeff Green.
Yeah,
I
does
wish.
he play it?
I don't think
I'd watch
he
that.
played that on a stream. We might be able to find an entertaining streamer who did play it, though. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty solid, though. Yeah. So, well, as always, I've been your horrible host telling you to inject the penicillin right into the center of your butthole. Kenny.
I'm your favorite groomer, dog groomer, Daniel.
D-groomer?
D groomer is
I-
my rap name.
Give me $10, I'll put mud on your dog.
And I'm Kim.
Why would you put?
Because you're a D-groomer.
Oh, well, no, I was doing like the letter D, because that's my name.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not my name, but it's like the start of my name, and then like what do you call that thing with the line?
Hyphen.
A hyphen.
A hymen.
You do a hymen, and then groomer.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
now...
GROOMER.
Yeah, and when you get your first rap deal, you break the hymen, and now it's just a D, and then the
When
groomer
you-
with a space.
I'm about to say something. Maybe I won't. Never mind.